It's not too often that an opportunity comes along that puts you in the right place at the right time with the right product. But that's exactly where you find yourself as you discover the power of LifeWave technology and the opportunity it represents for you. Our mission? To share products with the world that enhance the health, wellness, beauty, and longevity of every person we encounter. If that resonates with you, take a moment and imagine. Have you heard about the billions being spent in the race to cash in on the promise of stem cells? We're told the possibilities in the future for improving our health and wellness using stem cell science from Big Pharma are huge. But what if the future was now? What if you could be perfectly positioned to take advantage of the stem cell revolution today? Partnering with an established company with proven technology, using a business distribution system that puts you in the driver's seat now. Too good to be true? Absolutely not.
It's what the world wants. We don't want drugs. We don't want injections. We don't want surgery.
I've never seen anything like this in 21 years of being a doctor, anything coming close to doing what this technology does for people.
This is a pivotal moment in alternative medicine and in the future of technology and healing and helping people.
Stem cells are the future. As a wellness company, we needed to be part of the stem cell revolution. And with X39, that's exactly what's happened.
That's David Schmidt, LifeWave's founder, CEO, and inventor of X39, his latest breakthrough in what is wearable, virtually weightless technology.
I'm now 50 years old and I feel like 30 years.
In 2 days, X39, my knee pain was really gone.
It's a really fun thing to share with people because everybody is amazed by it.
What does X39 do? It harnesses light to elevate a copper peptide proven to activate stem cells.
We're bringing regenerative science to everyone, and we're doing it safely and inexpensively and with extraordinary benefits. So this is why we have such an advantage in the marketplace and what makes our opportunity for our business builders so enormous.
This is cutting-edge science with no competition that's safe, affordable, non-invasive, and drug-free. We have an X39 video that tells you all about the science, so be sure to watch it. But with over 80 clinical studies behind it and multiple worldwide patents protecting it, the science is settled.
It's a game changer.
There is absolutely no competition.
You're not going to be able to find this in any other different company.
So where do you come in? Our distribution model is network marketing, an industry that approaches $200 billion a year in sales worldwide. People telling people about products and building teams of team builders that accelerate that word of mouth. It's big business, and LifeWave is growing fast within it.
It's very unusual that you would have cutting-edge science make its way into network marketing. But as it turns out, because our products produce immediate effects, immediate benefits, sharing the product face-to-face makes it the ideal way to share the technology.
The only thing you have to do is go out and share it with people. That's it.
You don't have to be a medical doctor like me. Everybody can do this.
You try the patch and you love it.
The reaction that people give us is like, wow.
With warehouses now in multiple countries and the capability to manufacture millions of units per month already in place, LifeWave is ready for you. Just think about who you know and all the people they know that would like more energy without the buzz, to reduce or eliminate pain, to sleep better, all without drugs, to look and feel younger without risky procedures. The list of benefits using our products is long. The market's vast. Are you starting to get the idea here? You're on the threshold of something significant. I mean, think about it. This is an opportunity with global reach where there's help and support alongside you every step of the way, and it's all fueled by a science that has no competition. As a member, you have an incredible array of marketing support, training, and business services that allow you to focus on what's important, spreading the word about LifeWave and helping us expand.
The growth in the future is going to be fast because of X39.
Once you learn about the X39 and you see what it's doing for people, for me, I feel like it's an obligation to share it.
Today, more and more people are really looking for solutions for a better lifestyle.
Everybody wants to look younger, everybody needs more sleep, wants to have more energy, wants to get rid of pain.
And LifeWave is fun because you're making a difference in people's lives. It's not a little difference, it's a big difference.
LifeWave gave my children their mother back.
when you're able to move someone's health as much as we can with LifeWave, see what change that make into people's life, that's amazing. It is. You can literally change someone's life. And I love that.
So there you have it. Look, whatever you want, however high your goals, however big your dreams, it's all possible with LifeWave. So be sure to get back to the person who suggested you watch this video and get started today. Try X39 or one of our other fantastic products so you can learn for yourself what all the excitement is about when it comes to LifeWave. Whatever you do though, be sure to get started today because the clock is ticking. The time is now. You don't want to miss out. We're building LifeWave to $1 billion company. Let's do it together.
Right, so thank you so much for joining us here and spending a portion of your Thursday evening with us. We're so excited to have you here live. You're in for a real treat tonight. Now, some of you we will have met at the Women's Lifestyle Expo over the weekend, and at the end of this, we've got that special draw coming up for you, and we've got all your names on the little spinny thing, and we're going to do that, and we're going to grab a winner. Now, I promise we won't take up too much of your time, and we're just going to get straight into it, no fluff. For those of you that can make it, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Now, I am your host for the evening. My name is Deb Malone, and I'm part of the Patching Down Under team. And we have a few of the other girls on the team right now, and a bunch of them have joined us as well. So I'm going to share something with you that has truly been life-changing for each of us. Now, if you have ever struggled with pain, fatigue, or brain fog, or if you just want to enhance your overall wellness or improve your sleep or boost your energy and support faster recovery, this might be exactly what you need. And it is 100% no meds needed. Now, I'm going to be walking you through what it is, how it works, and the incredible benefits that even I have experienced firsthand. And you're going to hear from a couple of others because it's always good to hear people that we know of what they've experienced too. And they've kindly agreed to share their experiences. And I am so grateful for these people that are willing to step up and be vulnerable and just share a bit of their story. So make sure you stick around. All I can say is I think it's going to blow your socks off. Now, feel free to ask any questions in the comments. In fact, I will make sure I have them up and we'll just make a bit of time for them at the end. There are a couple of girls in the chat that we'll be able to answer as we go though. So any that remain unanswered, then we'll try and get to them at the end if we have time. So with all that said, let's dive in. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. Let's talk about what X39 is. So X39 is a small wearable patch and it uses cutting edge technology to boost your body's natural healing abilities. It is non-transdermal, meaning that nothing is transferring into the skin or into the body. So it's not like a nicotine patch or a smoker's patch or a hormone patch where chemicals or other substances or supplements are going into your skin. So it is non-invasive and it is drug-free, so 100% natural. Now, with that said, I'm so excited to share with you our first guest testimonial. Now, this one is, again, particularly special to me because it's my mum. I'm glad that she's agreed to share this because so many need to hear her story. So this is my mum, Judy.
Hello. Quickly, I'm closer to 80 than what I am to 70. For many years, I've suffered bad back, probably over 30 years ago. I went to a doctor and he sent me to physio and it was just like ants crawling over my back. He was a New Zealand doctor because I was living in New Zealand. I'm now in Brisbane. And I said to him, waste of time, it's just like ants. Well, he said, you know, can I suggest something different? And I said, like what? He said, alternative. And I said, I didn't think you'd be for that. I'll do anything that can fix you. So he put me on to a lady who was head of the New Zealand women's hockey team. She was good. She did acupuncture. She fixed it. She talked me into getting a book, Treat Your Own Back, written by a New Zealand man. Very good book, but I mean, you had to do the exercise and you had to work. And I mean, I love my gardening. It was hopeless getting on a shovel. Anyway, I could control my back pain, but earlier this year, in about April, Deb came over. And after she left, we'd had quite a bit of
hear
an
anything.
Not working.
No, it's working. It might just be
Yeah.
It's all good. Carry on, sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, when she went back, my back played up. And I don't know whether anyone's experienced going cast. You stand, you want to sit, you can't sit, and you can't stand. The pain is so intense. Anyway, I said to her, oh, my back's playing up again. And she said, you know, I've come across something and I think it might help you. So I said, oh, yeah, you know, little patch. I thought, oh, yeah, you know, heard of those things. No, I haven't. But I thought, oh, well, anything's worth a try. So on the 1st of June, I'll never forget, the 1st of June was the first day I received these sleeve patches. And my case, I believe, was very unusual because it was almost an instant healing. But anyway, I enjoyed that. Anyway, I didn't reorder. I didn't even think of that. You know, I just thought, oh, my back's good, you know, off we go. And then I realised there weren't very many patches left. So I started metering them out. You know, I'd put a patch on, I'd go a day without, I'd put one on, yeah, it started to come back. So I thought, this is no good. So I then decided that I would order. It's just given me a new lease of life. I had a fall some weeks ago, and it was a flippin' heavy fall. I think the worst thing that hurt was my dignity when 2 men had to rush and pick me up. Are you all right? Do you have a dizzy spell? No, I didn't. I just didn't watch where I put my feet. But the interesting thing there is I've been told, I had this degeneration of the spine. I was told that years ago, but I've also been told that I've got osteoporosis. And the dentists don't want to touch your mouth because they're scared of breaking your jaw and you know, while you're on their medication. And I didn't like the medication. Anyway, I decided when I fell, I went to a naturopath and I was getting stuff off a naturopath because I still wanted dental work done. And when I had that fall some weeks ago, I crashed heavy on my wrist, on my right wrist, because we put that down to save your face. I mean, as it is, I scratched my jolly good sunglasses. But my wrist saved my face. When I got up and dusted myself down and assured these 2 men, yes, I'm fine, I couldn't believe it. I thought, why is that wrist not broken? I'm not going to bother going back for a bone scan, but I would like to know, has this done something to my bones? I don't know. The other thing I do know, and I wasn't aware of it, one of the ladies on this group mentioned about hair falling out. Now, when I used, and I'd never ever thought of that, and it wasn't till she said it, I'd shampoo my hair and I'd get these clumps and I'd roll them into a ball and put them at the bottom of the shower box. And when I got out and did my cleaning, I'd pick the ball of rubbish up and put it in the... My hair is not falling out. I don't have to clean my brush, and I've got a roller brush. I got the tail comb, put it through, lifted the hair out, and I'm not doing that. So, yeah, and today I was up on stools, up on the bench, cleaning windows outside with the big thing, cleaning some feet. That I can honestly say I could never have done it without these patches. So all I can say is it's not hocus pocus. There is something in it, and yeah, to me, it's just changed my life.
Oh, thanks so much for sharing, Mum. I just love your story. I love hearing, especially with your fall and that you didn't break your wrist. That's especially.
That was amazing. But I like the hair. And I've got all new hair there. Even the hairdresser said, "Oh my word, have you changed conditioners or something? Your hair's in really good nick."
I just want to actually share the reason for that is because you've been on them 3 months now. So your collagen naturally will be, coming back and in your scalp. And when we get collagen in our scalp, our hair starts to grow.
It is. It's amazing. I could have a little dinky fringe there. Never mind.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I absolutely love it. All right. So, look, what makes this patch truly unique is how it works. So, let's talk about how it works. It's a unique type of light therapy. Okay, so you apply the patch to your skin. So it's literally like a sticker. In fact, my husband, who was the biggest skeptic, by the way, he laughed when he saw them, and he was just like, Deb, that's just an expensive plaster. And I laughed. Anyways, once you've applied it, it's immediately activated by body heat. Now, remember that body heat is a form of light. Now, I'll admit I actually didn't know that when I first started, but yes, humans do emit light. It's not visible to the naked eye, but of course, that's how night goggles work. So they sense infrared radiation and convert it to visible light that our eyes can see. Now, this light that our bodies emit is what activates the patch. Okay, and that causes it to reflect very specific wavelengths of light back into our body. Now, by doing that, it increases our copper peptide levels, and that is then reacts our stem cells. So think of it like going out in the sun. You know how you go out in the sun and that triggers a release of vitamin D in your body, right? That's common knowledge. You don't see it, you don't feel it, but it happens. So that is an example of how light will cause a chemical change in the body. So just as sunlight initiates a chemical reaction that elevates vitamin D, the specific wavelengths of light reflected by the X39 patch elevate your copper peptides, and that activates your stem cells, or reactivates them rather. So you don't see it, you don't feel it, but it is creating change in your body. Now, with the testimonials, well, the one you've heard so far, you will have seen just some of the benefits, but the benefits of elevating this peptide and activating stem cells are absolutely stunning, and it varies for everybody. Now, before we go any further, we're going to hear from our next testimonial, which is Ruth.
Okay, so yeah, it's just been such a miracle finding this product, hearing Deb's testimony that I saw online and some of the other girls in New Zealand here. It's like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I have to give it a go. I was at such a low place in my life and with my health that I just had to try anything. So part of my story is I had trouble eating from 5 to 6 years ago and was diagnosed with achalasia between 4 and 5 years ago. So that means that it's hard for me to eat. My esophagus is partly paralyzed. The LES that sits at the bottom of the esophagus closes off, and it just doesn't open like most people's LES. And in more recent times, in more recent years, the UES, which sits at the top of the esophagus, that also seizes. So it feels like I'm being strangled or choked when I'm trying to eat, and usually when I first try to eat. I also get esophagus spasms, which, yeah, they can be pretty painful. They usually happen at night. And yeah, if they happen during the day, I struggle to talk. They're a little bit like having a heart attack. The pain radiates up and down your spine, down your arm, into your head. So yeah, not very nice. At my sickest, about 4 to 5 years ago, I was 37 kilos, and I've had 3 surgeries to allow me to keep eating. And sometimes I eat fine, but every meal can be hard. Drinking can be hard at times. And it's just, they just manage achalasia. So I was going through a pretty rough time in the last year, under a lot of stress with work, a relationship breakup, and also my achalasia. And this year I'd lost another 5 kilos after putting on weight after surgeries. I'd then lost another 5 kilos, and I was just losing it all year. Since going on the patches in the last probably 6 weeks, I've put on about 1.5 kilos, which is huge for me. The week before I started using the patches, I had missed out on being able to eat between lunchtime and either 10 or 11 o'clock the next day. And when I was already feeling so weak, that was a long time for me to go without anything. There was another meal that I really had a lot of trouble eating. And since starting on the patches, I haven't missed a meal. It doesn't mean that eating's perfect. I still struggle, but it is just a huge improvement. When I do have a spasm, if it's in the middle of the night, I might lean over, grab a X39 and put it on my esophagus. And 80% of the time that spasm will go within maybe 10 or 20 seconds. And I don't have to get up and use something else to try and get rid of that pain. So just incredible. The stress, that was the first thing that I noticed. I was starting to get anxiety, and at work, being on a front desk, you do get a bit of abuse. And with all the other stress I was under, it was, giving me a bit of anxiety, just too much going on for me at that time. And so, that was the first thing I noticed in the first week, in the first few days even, that there was no more anxiety. And in the workplace, being under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and then that extra, the customers, if you're dealing with an irate customer, I'm just so much stronger in dealing with all that now. And just like a different person. I'm about 8 weeks in now, and just so excited to see where it's going to take me. I had a phone call about 5 weeks ago from a Waikato surgeon. He wanted to do further surgery, poem surgery it's called, and that's on the LES, where they cut open the LES further to allow me to keep eating. And I was able to tell him what I was doing, and I said, look, I can't go ahead with the surgery, and I really need to give this a good go for another 6 months. And he was really open to that. He said, we'll redo all your tests in 6 months, and we'll revisit it then. So he was actually quite interested in the product and the results I'd had so far. I've also noticed a difference with eczema. I had eczema around my rings, on my hands, and a bit on my face, and that's cleared up. It's taken the 8 weeks. It's probably in the last week I've noticed more of an improvement with that, and I've also noticed my eyesight has got better. And I went in for an eye test last week, and usually my eyesight would get worse every eye test in the last 30 years. And the last test that I got done, even though my eyesight had deteriorated in these 8 weeks, when I got it tested last week, my eyesight is the same as 3 years ago. So it'll be really neat to see in the next 6 months where my eyesight is. That's my story so far, and can't wait for that to keep changing. Just so exciting. And so nice for my family, even my children, like they're just so excited to see me doing so well, that they're also using the patches. My boys are 19 and 21. So probably not the normal age range that we'd usually have patching, but from them seeing my results, they've been keen to try it for themselves.
It's an incredible story, Ruth. And you know what blows my mind? You're only 7 weeks of patching, isn't that right?
Yeah. 7 or 8 weeks.
So it just shows you. Oh gosh, so exciting. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Really, really appreciate it. Before we go on, I just want to share with you that did you know that the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower that you heal? Now, by the time we are 30 years old, only half your stem cells are active. And by the time you're 60, you're lucky if we've got 10% of them left. And that's why our bodies degenerate with age. That's why we get the aches and the pains, the arthritis, and we're more prone to sickness and illnesses, and just all those other things that come with aging. One thing I want to make really clear is it's not just for age-related issues. Okay, now I'm a relatively healthy person, so when I started using X39, I didn't expect to see much change, but I was really surprised and glad when I did. So, for example, the first thing that I noticed was when I would get off my bed after watching a movie or, being on my phone or whatever, when I would get off, my back would hurt, right? Like I would get off my bed and have to unfold my body, and you walk out of the room for just a few seconds feeling like an old woman. It didn't last long, but it was just annoying. I'm like, oh, well, nothing's getting rid of that. We're getting older, right? Now, zero pain. Like, I don't get that anymore. And I was pretty shocked with that. And if that was the only thing I'd experienced, then I would still be 100% behind this because I think that's amazing. But for the ladies out there, those dreaded 2 days a month? Well, 5 days, but the first two are awful. So I used to be practically bedridden, and well, I couldn't be because we run our own law office, but I wanted to be. But I would rely on Nurofen, and even that was never good enough, to be honest. But now I actually don't need any on the first day or the second day. In fact, I often forget it's that time. It's so legitimately mind-blowing to me. So, for example, the first month I did have pain, but it just wasn't as much, and I got away with not having Nurofen, but I do want to make it clear I did have pain. The second month, I still had pain, not as much, probably at, I don't know, a half level of what I'd normally have. And then the third month, there was none at all. And that is what blew my mind. What I learned just recently, actually, is that the cycle of a cell is 90 days. So maybe that's something to do with it. Anyways, another great example of that this isn't just about age-related issues is my son. So like Ruth mentioned, her sons are on it. My son, who's 19, and he wanted to try it. And I'm like, well, you can buy your own. You're 19. Anyways, he's like, can I just borrow a few patches, Mum? So I gave him half a dozen patches. And anyways, the next week he came to me and he's like, Mum, I need to stay on the X39. I'm like, why? You're 19. You got all your stem cells, dude. And he said to me, he goes, well, it actually helps with my breathing. I can take those deep breaths now. And I was like, because he's got asthma and he's training for the police force. So he was struggling to, when he'd run, actually always struggled with those real deep breaths and could only do that shallow one. So yeah, he's just a total fan of it now and he doesn't stop wearing them. So yeah, that's I guess a couple of things that I've noticed. Before we move on into how it works, and how you can get yourself some, I wanted to share this with you. This is a topography map of a lady's brain. This lady is 77 years old. Now, I'm not a doctor, but as you can clearly see from this map, that she went in for her first session. Now, she hadn't tried X39, but you can see by the activity that her brain was clearly hyperactive. There was inflammation and a lack of brain coherence. Now, at the second session, she'd been on X39 for 3 weeks, and you can actually see quite a dramatic improvement with no more inflammation and improved brain coherence. And finally, at that third session, she'd been on X39 for 6 weeks, and there's a complete turnaround, and her brain remains calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. Now, one thing I just want to point out for those that aren't aware, inflammation in the brain can actually have quite severe effects. That's when you get problems like Alzheimer's or dementia or things like that. So when you've got inflammation in the brain, you want to get rid of it as quick as you can. So these stories that you've heard tonight are just a glimpse at how many lives X39 has transformed. So the thing is, it's not just about the visible results, because these patches work at a cellular level. So it's providing the deep healing that our bodies need. It's a natural and effective solution for pain relief and energy and just faster healing. So you've seen some of the benefits, and here are just a few more. One of the things that X39 will do is increase the production of antioxidants and decrease inflammation. So people notice this as maybe an improvement in their energy levels. And that's probably the most common thing that I hear, like straight off the bat, is just an improvement in their energy levels, a reduction in pain, improvement in their overall well-being, and many actually see significant improvements in their quality of sleep. So people have reported, and their clinical studies have shown actually, that people are sleeping deeper and sleeping longer. And there are so many more benefits, and it just like varies from person to person. So this is what to expect. So over the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within 1 to 3 months, you've got physical changes occurring. So that's like an increase in collagen in the skin. So when you hear my mum talk about how her hair is, she's got lots of hair growth and it's in better condition, that's because the collagen in her scalp has increased. And you've got within 3 to 6 months, you've got active stem cell repair. And then in 6 to 12 months, you're looking at reverse aging. Now that's fascinating, because if you read there, it says in a recent study, 14 out of 15 people lowered their vascular age by an average of 8 years after just 6 months of using X39. So David Smith, who is the creator of this X39 patch, said it is not anti-aging, it is age reversing. And I think that is mind-blowing. How to use it. You'll see that they come in these little packs. This is not X39 at the moment, but that's okay. And they look like this. They are just like, you can see that? So it's just like a little sticker. It really is like a little sticker. You just peel the back off that, like so. You'll peel that off and you will stick it on the back of your neck. You wear it you put it on clean, dry skin in one of the recommended locations. So usually we pop it on the back of the neck or a couple of centimeters below your belly button. So it's designed to be worn up to 12 hours a day. So it's really easy to incorporate into your routine. You put it on in the morning, you take it off at night, you throw it in the bin, and you put a new one on the next morning. So you want it on for around 12 hours. If you leave it on for 13 hours, it's no biggie. Just you want to take it off overnight to allow your body to refresh and rejuvenate. After that, while you're doing that throughout the day, you want to make sure you're drinking plenty of water, because water is essential for maintaining optimal cellular function. So it's really just that easy. There are 2 ways to purchase this. There is retail and wholesale. Now, obviously, clearly there's a significant saving. And that just means that if you share and help others, then you get a bit of a kickback in money, in US dollars, by the way, from the company. But what I want to make clear is that there is no expectation. So if you choose not to share, that's totally fine. There is no penalty, and you're still going to get the product at wholesale price. So it's a bit of a win-win. The thing is, as humans, we find it so easy to share, right? Like just the other day, we were at a friend's place and they brought out their homemade ice cream maker to show us. And like we all made some epic ice cream, healthy ice cream too, by the way. And we decided then that like, oh, we need one of those. So You know, when you're seeing incredible results like I did and like those ones that you've just heard from tonight and like many others are, then you naturally just want to tell people about it. And not only that, people notice the difference because it literally is changing lives worldwide. This is new technology. No other company has it. It's incredible. So whether you're looking for an additional income stream, a little side hustle, or an exciting new business, we've got a super supportive community and there is limitless earning potential. Health and wealth can literally go hand in hand. Having run my own business, I ran my own business, marketing business for about 15 years, and I've come across countless products, but LifeWave caught my eye as something truly unique because I remember actually sitting at the airport and I remember saying to Mum, actually, I was like, if this product does what it says it can do, then this is a killer opportunity. Because you see, it's not just another product in an already saturated market. Unlike skincare, makeup, or supplements, where you have to prove that your brand is better than the rest, this little patch stands out on its own because the technology is so new and innovative. And it's got a 20-year global patent. And we're only 4 years into that, by the way. It has incredible benefits. There is simply nothing else like it out there. There is nothing that elevates the copper peptides and reactivates your stem cells. And not only that, I had so many just in my family that needed this. My aunt, who mum's sister, she had a fall and broke her hip last year. I got another friend who had neuropathy issues, and she said X39 is the only thing that helps her with her pain. And of course, mum and her back, she needed this. And she's now living a normal life, which is so awesome. One of the most exciting parts is that this is still so new in New Zealand and even on a global scale, which means there is huge untapped market. And that's an excellent opportunity for growth and success for those who get involved now. While running my own business, I learned that the 3 essential things of any business need to be successful are: 1, you need to have a unique product. Number 2, you need an unsaturated market. And number 3, has to be something that people need. And this ticks all those boxes. Before we finish up and go to any questions, I wanted to quickly share that earlier this year, I completed my law degree and I've just finished my legal professionals course and I am now able to be admitted to the bar. I had it all planned out until I came upon this opportunity, and while I cannot and do not make income claims, it is rivaling my salary. At this point, I can say I will be doing law on a part-time basis. So this is an incredible opportunity, whether you just want to help people, whether you need help yourself, or whether you want an additional income stream. What I want you to do to get started, just contact the person who sent you to this Zoom. They're going to be able to help you and answer all of your questions. Now, I will just take a look in the chat and see if we can answer them. So I'm just going to go from the bottom up because that's the fastest way. Bridget says, can you stop wearing the patch at a certain stage, or is this a lifelong thing? My mum is...
I wouldn't.
Go on, Mum, you can answer that if you want to.
No way, no. I was running out, so I thought, I'll spin them out. So it was one every other day type of thing. No, the old back started to creep in. No, I'm scared. I would be scared to go without.
Okay, so
I really would.
Yeah, so what's happening is when mum continues, if she continues for the next 6 months and use them, when she stopped using them, if she stops using them in 6 months' time, her back pain won't come back immediately. But what she will find is that as her stem cells start to go dormant again, because they're going to over time, then she'll just slip back into that aging funnel and start to have those issues again. It won't be immediate. You could stop using them, absolutely. But again, you're just going to slip back into the process where your stem cells start to go dormant again. So there's a few things I just want to actually cover before I do answer any further questions. There are 3 things I usually cover. 1, you may go through a bit of a detox process when you start. Okay, it's just your body getting rid, like your cells emptying out bad stuff to allow more light into them. This is different for everyone. I don't even think Mum suffered a detox process at all. Me, I didn't. Only the fact that I was really exhausted for the first week. My husband, total skeptic, by the way. He had a shoulder that would make this icky sound. It was awful. And it just made me cringe. And it's so funny because it's just not one of those things that you expect to see change. And it must have been about 3 months in. I said to him, like, hey, your shoulder's not making that noise anymore. And he said to me, he goes, you know what? He goes, it's been feeling better. Now, this is from a 100% skeptic. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. So excited to have you on here and to share a bit more. Please go back to the person who invited you to this and they'll be able to answer any further questions that you have. Nice to see you guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening.